everybody, welcome back to the Disney Channel. This is kind of season 2. We had our first videos, last February, I believe. The first video was the review of the Mickey bars. So we're back. We had gone to Disney in August, so we're pulling some videos from that still. But we do have a trip upcoming, which we're going to make a video about as well for an upcoming week. But today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Disney Plus. Not a lot. We got it the day it came out. We purchased it because we were part of D23, like family membership or whatnot. So we got like a 3-year deal. It was really good. So we were really excited. Watched The Mandalorian. Loved it. But today we're actually going to talk a little bit about a couple of glaring omissions, things that are not on Disney Plus yet. That I'm like, why are those not on Disney Plus? This is kind of my list of 5 shows or movies that did not make the cut yet. Hopefully at some point they do. So my first one is Swamp Fox, which was a TV show set during the Revolutionary War time. Leslie Nielsen was in it, so it had like a big star, and it was really cool. A lot of adventure, and I just don't understand why it wouldn't be on yet, especially because Leslie Nielsen's kind of a bigger name. His character would hide out in the swamps and then come out and do kind of guerrilla style tactics as opposed to fighting like out on the field and things like that. It was a really good show.
It like similar to like a Davy Crockett type character?
It was kind of similar to that, I'd say. Then he had his friends with him that were in his group and everything like that. And it was took place in the swamps of the Carolinas. And just in general, really good. The theme song always stuck with me. I like that a lot. And I'm not old enough to remember when they first came out, but I remember them rerun a lot. So again, for me, getting Disney Plus and I'm throwing it on to watch, and like, where in the world is the Swamp Fox? Because I love the Swamp Fox. My second one is actually, when I was growing up, there were Saturday afternoon specials, like after the cartoons and things like that. And there was one that came out called Cartoon AllStars to the Rescue. And it was kind of before the Disney afternoon. There weren't like gummy bears in it and stuff, but there were Muppet Babies. There was Alf. There was Garfield. I believe that there were Winnie the Pooh characters. There was actually some Looney Tunes characters. It was kind of all these cartoon characters thrown together to save a little girl's brother who became addicted to drugs. And it was just a wild, wild cartoon to watch. And I remember they would show it like once a year. So I'm watching it as a kid. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they got all these characters together. It's a little bit scary at times watching. But it was a really good cartoon. And because there were so many Disney characters on it, I figured at some point it might end up on Disney Plus. Again, it's kind of dark, but there are Disney cartoons that are kind of dark, and those are on. Gargoyles is on. That's like more noir of a cartoon. It's a little darker than, let's say, like Goof Troop or something like that. So that made the cut. I'm like, come on, where's the cartoon AllStars to the Rescue? It was a good cartoon. There were some really good parts that I enjoyed a lot. So again, I'm just crossing my fingers that at some point that ends up on. I think that's out of all the ones that I have written down. There are a couple that are iffy, but that one is probably I'd say the most iffy out of all of them. But again, come on, they're really pulling for the nostalgia with some of the shows that are out and cartoons that are out, and that one, for those that grew up when that was out, is nostalgic. So bring that on back. My third one is Humphrey Cartoons. So, from what I had like studied and stuff about Humphrey, because I'm a pretty big Humphrey fan, is at the beginning of cartoons with Donald Duck, they showed Donald Duck. And at the beginning of Pluto cartoons, they show Pluto, and Chip and Dale, they show Chip and Dale, and Mickey, they show Mickey, and Minnie, they show Minnie, and whatnot. Humphrey actually had his own kind of marquee, so it was a Humphrey cartoon, and it would bring his face up and everything. And there are a couple of cartoons with Donald Duck and Humphrey, none with it being a Humphrey cartoon where it's just like him as the tentpole character. And the biggest one that I'm kind of missing out on is the one where they do the Humphrey Hop, where they pick up all the trash. Then the ranger kind of tricks them into it through singing a song, and it is, I mean, probably one of my favorite Disney like shorts, like cartoons. Mickey, like Donald, like Goofy, but there's something about Humphrey Bear that just really like resonated. I liked it a lot. And it could have been the outdoors aspect of it, so like the outdoors and everything like that. And your other characters all talk, and Humphrey just like makes silly groans and stuff, and he's just really, it was really funny. I liked it a lot. And again, I go on to look this up and type in Humphrey, and there's nothing there. And I found a couple with Donald Duck as the main character that Humphrey was in, but nothing that was a specific Humphrey cartoon. So a little disappointed with that. So hopefully they're able to bring some of those Humphrey cartoons. Disney, if you're listening, help a brother out, like help me out there. It's good stuff. I love myself some Humphrey. Even, where is it? It's by Pete's Circus, or Pete's Sideshow, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a kind of a big Humphrey mural. I got my picture taken around that. I got a Humphrey Disney pin.
Yeah.
Again, we trade a lot of pins, and every once in a while we'll buy, usually on a trip we'll buy like 2 or 3 pins or a blind bag or something like that. But I actually specifically saw a Humphrey pin, and I was like, I'm buying that.
And that one was, that was only at one pin trading seller that we found that at.
Right.
Because we had looked at it and then we went to someplace else and we couldn't find it.
We had to go back.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think they do have a Humphrey mug, which hopefully I'll pick up this trip, which is upcoming. So Humphrey Cartoons, got to bring those back. My next one is, I believe it's called Donald. It's either Donald in Mathland or Donald Duck in Mathland, and it's kind of another odd trip, not nearly like what Cartoon AllStars to the Rescue is, but Donald learns all about math, and he goes into math and learns a lot about shapes, things like that. Part of the reason that I thought of it when we first got Disney Plus, because I was going through and I'm like, well, there's some of these that are missing, but I really started to rethink about it. The class that I'm an associate teacher in, we are learning about geometry, and I specifically remember a lot of like geometry topics in there, and I'm sure there's other places to kind of stream it and find it. Probably not the most like reputable places to stream it from, but you have Disney Plus now, so you figured that one would kind of be on because I think it's a pretty popular cartoon for like kind of those educators and stuff like that. I think it was one that they did show quite a bit. And I did enjoy it and do hope that one comes on. Again, I think some of it was kind of, not dark, but like odd, I guess. But there's a lot of odd Donald Duck cartoons and just cartoons in general that are on Disney Plus. So that one you'd expect that would be brought on. My last one here is kind of another kind of out there, like a stretch. Again, not necessarily for the same reason. It's not really dark like the cartoon AllStars to the Rescue was, but it is Captain EO. And they used to have Disney World, the Captain EO 3D. It wasn't a ride. It was like a sit-in and watch. Kind of similar to the Muppets 3D. I don't think things came out at you and stuff like that. But it starred Michael Jackson and had, I believe, Jim Henson creatures.
That's what I was going to ask.
Right.
They had some kind of...
And because they had the Jim Henson creatures and things like that, it was really good. Had a really great soundtrack, and I don't think it was all overly long. And I really think that, again, looking back on just what I did say about the cartoon AllStars to the Rescue, when I was growing up, and that was around when I was growing up, it was kind of released when I was at the age to really watch it. My first trip to Disney World was pretty early on. I think Captain EO was still fairly new. You got to put on your 3D glasses and watch it and everything. So for me, it has this nostalgic aspect to it, because when I went when I was younger, I hadn't gone again for 20 years or so, like 15, 20 years or so. So by the time I came back, that's long gone. I mean, they do not have that anymore. So it's one that I look and I'm like, well, I could probably stream it somewhere. I could watch it on YouTube and things like that. But I purchased Disney Plus, so you'd think that at some point, because it, even beyond being a Disney thing, it was actually at the park. So you'd think that they would have it because it was at the parks as well. But again, that's kind of stretching. I don't know who necessarily would have the rights to it, or if they had passed on to somebody else or something after Michael Jackson passed away or whatnot. But that one is another one that I'd really like to see Disney put up on Disney Plus, and maybe a couple of these are ones people don't necessarily think of. But if you agree with me and say, hey, that one is missing and I'd like to see that one, please leave a comment. Or if you have one that I omitted, that I didn't list, and you're like, I wish that was the one that was on there, why don't you also leave that in the comment section. We'll always respond back if we can. And thank you to everybody who's subscribing. Aiden Campbell is out there and specifically asked me, hey, when are you going to do some more Disney videos? I said, oh, they're upcoming. We took most of November and December off for the holidays, and then January kicking back into it with coming up with our ideas and everything. And it's February, so we're starting back up. We have our trip coming up, so we'll do some planning videos and stuff like that. A couple of restaurant reviews for our previous trip, and that'll all be upcoming as well. So we do appreciate you watching. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share the video if you have anybody that you know that's a Disney fan. And we'll catch you on our next video. Thank you so much.